there was a woman on the bed, different from the other lady that I met yesterday. To be notified next time when I post a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming through. As you can see on today's title, we are doing a story time. So make sure you grab your popcorns, you grab your tea, you grab your coffee, you grab your beer, and let's chat. So as for me, I'm gonna have my snacks in between there and a huge cup of coffee. So I'm gonna have this in between. So today's story time is gonna be on how I caught my boyfriend in bed with another woman. So make sure you stay tuned. This actually happened in 2013. I actually met this guy through a mutual friend. He asked for my number and then we started communicating. He was studying in Cape Town. I do not know to what university. So let's say we're gonna call this guy Matthew. That prior to the time when I met Matthew, Matthew was going to, I think a week he was going to Cape Town for study. And then he was like, yeah, it was really nice seeing you. I felt like you're a good girl, let's become friends. Okay, we started communicating almost every day. We could video chat and stuff like that. And then Matthew proposed to me, can you be my girlfriend? And I also kind of like the guy. And then from there I was like, I am single, let's do this, let's try this. I was like, how are you gonna make this work if you're in Cape Town, and I'm here in Namibia? He was like, babe, I'm gonna come to Namibia very soon, so as long as we stay faithful, we communicate, we can make really this work. Okay. Okay, so actually what happened is that Matthew stayed in Cape Town like for 9 months. All we have to do is just communicating, video chat and stuff like that. And boom, he comes to the time when he have to come to Namibia. I was very, very excited that the day he arrived, because I'm actually a former catwalk model. I used to do modeling when I was at university. Yeah, and then I quit modeling after I became a mom on my first year when I started working by then. I've been a super catwalk model for the record of 4 years. And then when Matthew came to Namibia that day, I was having a big fashion show for African Finance fashion show. I was actually going for rehearsal the day Matthew came, so I was actually already rushing to go to rehearsal. So we actually met in town. Oh, it was so beautiful. We hugged. Imagine we've been just communicating, for this long time, and then we didn't meet up. Before Matthew came, he makes so much promises, man. Like, we're gonna travel, he's gonna come, we're gonna spend time. I remember very well, it was on Friday. And then I went for rehearsal when we met him in town. And then he was like, okay, babe, you know what? We're going to go to Okahanja, to the farm for my uncle. And I'll see you later. Relationship, when you come, we're going to have an HIV test before anything happened. And then he was like, okay, babe, I'm cool with that. So I was just going for rehearsal for 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. That was around 1, and then I was going to rehearsal around 2, 3, and then 4 again. I'm back home so that we can go to the clinic and have an HIV test together. Okay. So actually what happened is that after my rehearsal, yes, we have been speaking the whole time. I was at rehearsal. I was very excited, guys. I was very, very excited. Like, woo, finally my guy is here. So because all I had was his pictures, I used to put a lot of his pictures over my room. And then I was like, woo, finally my guy is home. No more these things. All right. So after my rehearsal, I called Matthew, babe, where are you? What time are you coming? Because, it's already around 5. We're supposed to rush to go to the clinic. Then he was like, okay, no, babe, we are still here at the farm. So when I'm calling him, you can hear already noise in the background, like he's in a bar and stuff like that. Then he was like, no, we're still in Okahanja. we are still here at the farm, but I'm gonna come. Okay, I was like, okay, cool, babe. So I went home because I was renting in Katutura. I went home, I make some dinner. I was like, okay, babe is coming. Bruh. Okay. So I waited for Matthew. I waited. I checked my time. It was already like 8 o'clock. So because I met him through his cousin, the one they normally stay with when he's here in Namibia. So I called his cousin. Where is Matthew then? Okay, let's say we're gonna call his cousin Jordan. Okay, because I met Matthew through Jordan. Jordan is my friend, and that's the cousin now to Matthew. So I called Jordan, like, where are you, nigga? Where's my boyfriend? Where's he until this late? Come get me so that I can wait him to your house. Okay, so Matthew was just around Vanahinda. He came to pick me up, and then that was already around 12 midnight. So he came to pick me up, and then he let me sleep in the room, and then he went to sleep inside the house. We didn't come, and then he came around 5 o'clock there. He came knocking. Jordan, come open for me. So he didn't know that I was the one who was in the room, guys. Okay, so I went to open the door. Just in my surprise, Matthew was with the girl. He didn't know that I was there, so he wanted to come. Another girl. Okay, so actually what happened is that I was like, who is this? I didn't even say anything because I was in shock, man, guys. Imagine the whole time, the whole time I invested in this relationship, everything, the promises he made, everything. Okay, so that in the morning I just left, and then I went home because I told myself, like, Annelie, I need to put myself together. Remember, this is a big fashion show, because in that morning on Saturday I had that big fashion show for African Finance Fashion Show. Like, I'm not gonna just let this ruin my day. Okay, so that morning after I left, I do not know really what happened, if Matthew came back and everything, but then he ended up starting calling me and stuff like that. But then in the morning after the fashion show on Saturday, in the morning, because I felt like, no man, I need some closure. Matthew have to explain to me, apart from just him say sorry in the phone and stuff like that. I need to see him just for him, because I need closure. I'll only move on when I need closure from him to tell me that why did he really waste my time after 9 months of me communicating with him and him promising all these things, and then he had been not faithful. Things guys do. Hey. Whew, guys, then in the morning on Sunday, I decided I'm gonna take a taxi. I'm gonna go to his house. Guys, I took a taxi and then I go to his house. When I went to his house, it was in the morning. I think I went around 9 o'clock there. So I found his cousin outside, and I was like, okay, where's Matthew? So the cousin was like, oh, Matthew is in the room. So I was like, do me a favor. I really want to talk to him. Do me a favor. Just call him. Pretend like you're pretend you are going to get something in the room so that maybe he can have a chance of talking to me. Jordan standing outside, guys. So Matthew came, and then he opened the door without knowing that I was also standing outside. So when he saw me, he was trying immediately to close the door, guys. So I pushed that door and I let myself inside the room. When I went inside the room, I found Matthew all naked. And then there was a woman on the bed, different from the other lady that I met yesterday. Condoms were everywhere. Toilet papers were everywhere. I mean, they did everything, guys. They did everything. I feel like I fainted almost for 5 minutes. Like, I was just there, you know. I fainted for 5 minutes, and then after I woke up, guys, I cried that day, guys. I cried. Like, I know this is way back. I don't know how many years passed now. It's almost 8 years. I cried that day, guys. I cried. I remembered either I went to the taxi rank. I remember I cried until home. Even in that taxi, guys, I was crying. I think the next day he started calling, apologizing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. By then, luckily, I was lucky for me to quote him because I didn't sleep with him. It was something that we already, it's something that we wanted to start, but then thank God I didn't sleep with him. Nothing literally happened. It was just about to happen, but then thank God I tried. God, I think, was there, and then I caught him. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and everything. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna forgive you just for me to move on with my life. By then, having a relationship with you is something that I will never, that would be the last thing that I'll do. I never gave Matthew another chance. He doesn't deserve me. He doesn't deserve another chance and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll never do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video of story time, how I was played by my so-called guy that I felt like I trusted so much. I hope you like this video. If you do, make sure you subscribe, you like, and then you also comment. Share with me also some of your experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, do not forget to like, comment, and also do subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified at all time when I post new video. Until next time, adios.